What's up, YouTube family? Please subscribe if you have not. Today I'm going to make this video about something serious. It's not about guitar, but I really appreciate those of you who suffered through my rusty playing. I haven't picked up my guitar in a few years, but anyway, today I'm speaking to hairstylists, musicians, electricians, scientists, everybody, because, really just scientists that I want to mention to the hairstylists and musicians that are giving us accurate scientific data that, with logic, common sense, and reason. The reason I say that is because, I've studied this hard sciences pretty much my whole entire life. I'm first a hairstylist in the 80s. I've been in this business for 35 years. I'm just about to retire into something different. But I don't. My appreciation for the hairdressing industry has been fantastic. So I want to share this scientific news that should be on a state test in every state, as far as I'm concerned, because it's important. And mainly, I want to educate you on what channels to watch to educate you for real. The scientists that are actually spending all day, every day, putting this news out there for us to be aware of. Okay, the first thing is our grand solar minimum, and but the main thing that concerns me is the magnetic field. But all this stuff has to do with one, but the magnetic field is what they call on an excursion. It's moving, okay, and it's something that you should look into and get schooled with Ben Davidson and Professor Diamond. Ben Davidson's a Suspicious Observers right here on the YouTube. Fantastic knowledge, spitting out the truth for you, man, with logic, common sense, and reason. And magnetic reversal news, that's an important one. That's Professor Diamond. He does a really great job on teaching you how to maintain your greenhouse, how to what the weather's doing around the world, and correcting stupid people that are reporting stupid news. For real. It's common sense, logic, and reason again. But the hairstylist, I want to share this with you guys, and you do with this information is pass it to your clients, because we have to deal with ultraviolet radiation. Probably there's the sun's magnetic field called the heliosphere. When the sun is in the grand solar or solar minimum, as it is, and a solar cycle is to do with sunspots and when they appear and when they don't. A solar cycle is 11.09 years, as far as I understand it, and two of them add up to 22 years long. And what happens in that, when in 22 years, the magnetic poles of the sun switch. But anyway, these processes, they go on for a while. The sun does a lot of sunspots and solar maximum, and in solar minimum it has very few, and sometimes in solar minimums the sunspots don't appear for long periods of time. Okay, and same goes with solar maximum. If it's flaring up, it goes crazy with spitting off stuff. And we're approaching solar cycle 25. I think that's pretty important. The sun has been sunspotless for quite a while now, and now it's starting to wake up as far as it looks. Davidson reports on that pretty fantastically, I mean, to the edge. And Space Weather News, you should be very aware of what channel that is, and probably have that app downloaded in your phone in case, the sun poops. And, you don't want to be out there in that radiation. It's deadly to human beings, man. That's something I've studied my whole life. All right, so first the hairstylist in the 80s. Then I went to electric school, and I advanced that to electrical physics and engineering. I mean, it was a tough class. I had a professor that was pretty tough, and he has a class right here on YouTube as well, as I brushed up 30 years later on it. His Professor Matt Anderson right here on YouTube, if you want to understand the magnetic fields and everything that Ben Davidson and Professor Diamond are going to talk to you about. And there's a few others. They'll turn you on to the scientific papers and where they get their data, and how we all look at the data, really. That's people that are have been studying the sun and stuff. But anyway, I think that this is an important information. I mean, for the hairdressing industry, it's something that we should all know. It's super important. And now we have this crazy coronavirus, man. Let me tell you, wash your hands every chance you get. Wash your doorknobs, light switches, anywhere where there's crud and stuff. You got to keep everything washed. I noticed that this year, probably to do with the solar minimum and all the electricity that's floating around it, I see a lot of dust in my place, like when I'm running my camera at night. I've never seen that before, but the dust goes crazy. It's like I don't know, it's static. But anyway, our sun, it's about to wake up for solar cycle 25, and I think that it's very important to be aware of it. I would urge every hairstylist to follow the links that I'll leave and get brushed up, because it's very important, man. And you want to save your or at least make your clients aware, so that they're not getting ultraviolet radiation or whatever radiation is going to come at us, or whatever the sun can do to us. Especially with the magnetic field in a swab. So there's just some scary stuff. Now, as long as I've been studying the scientific stuff, I mean, pretty much since junior high, man, it's a long ass time to be looking at science and following some of the scientists that I follow, and some of the background of education that I've attended. I'm very well brushed on the scientific stuff. I mean, that's why I want to share it with the hairdressers, Guy Tang, Sam Vila. See, my mentors in that business, I learned a lot of stuff from. See, what else can I think of? Let's see, that's about it I can think of. Sam Vila's partner, I wish I could think of his name. Sorry, dude. I don't know. Anyway, him too. In fact, very, very talented hairstylist. If you're in this business, learn haircuts from them. They keep you really busy. Now, my hair salon, pretty much this last year and a half, maybe a year and a quarter, I've been getting educated again and learning how the satellites work. And I don't really want to go into details about it in case I flunk. I barely passed. I left the midterm, and the professor says, "Hey, Todaro, you're at the bottom of the list." I said, yes, sir, but I'm still here, man. But anyway, it's just a joke. But anyway, I want you to take this serious, please, guys. I would not put this crap out on here and to try to scare you, or it's something that you should. It's Mother Nature, and it's fury. It's something else to learn about, like hurricanes, tornadoes, lightning storms, floods, earthquakes. You name it. Really pay attention to Oppenheimer Ranch as well. That's the one that's going to show you how to, or just at least give you tips. I mean, you might already know, but it's something you don't know. Like I'm doing a greenhouse, my brother and I, and we're gonna be recording all that and trying to make our greenhouse work too. And other day on Oppenheimer Ranch's class, he had rodent problem, something I wouldn't have thought of. So you put some mesh in your bed of your box, your flower box. Okay, and it looked like a lot of work, but it's going to work, I think. And then and also with the growing food and vegetables with magnetic fields is something that I looked into a long time ago. I don't know why I was reading about it, but it was in the 90s. But a professor was messing with magnetic fields and marinating seeds and making plants grow. Or he was doing tests where the vegetables and fruits had more nutrients than others did, and they grew much bigger and quicker, supposedly, because plants are orientated to the magnetic field of our planet, the magnetosphere. Now remember, I talked about also one more thing: space weather news, and also you could get really educated on the sun with Dr. Tamith the Scove, and her channel's name's Space Weather Woman. She'll keep you get you updated with what the sun does. You know what I mean? She has a whole class on there for free. She goes over pretty much everything. I started to learn about the sun in 1993 from Dr. Bill Miranda. I had skin cancers all over my chest from being in Florida and getting a bad sunburn when I was a kid. 18, 19, partying down there in school and stuff, and being a college kid, whatever. But anyway, I got a bad sunburn about 6, 8 years later. I started to get this blister, another one. So I had a couple blisters that wouldn't heal. They scabbed and bleed, scabbed and bleed. That's basal cell carcinoma. So that's where I started to learn about the sun from Dr. Bill Miranda. It really got me interested then. I've been studying it ever since. Pretty much I dove into the sun thing as soon as Soho and Yoko and the stereo ahead came out with telescopes that monitor the sun in real time, which you can look up on NOAA's, the Weather Service, and then pretty much you can look at it all yourself. Everything that I'm talking about is factual and not bullshit. Really get yourself schooled. I think it's a time to be prepared. This is my favorite quote from one of my professors. It's boom time, and piss poor planning makes for piss poor performance. And another professor is eyes open and no fear. So it's just these events happening with our magnetic field and the sun cycles and the way the planet and system works is on a regular time thing. So it's just something that in our lifetimes, I thought I'd never see. To be honest with you, there's Dr. Bob. I could never pronounce his name. It was ridiculously hard to pronounce. Dr. Bow, I think that's how he says it. Douglas B. Bow from the Die-Hole Foundation. But 25 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, I was listening to this guy on a radio show, or maybe it was a TV program or something, but I remember his book and God's Day of Judgment. But anyway, yeah, I remember that stuff. But I called him a tin hatter. That was 20 years ago, and but now that I see the stuff that he was talking about 20 years ago actually happening right on the days that dates that he pretty much said they would occur, and sure enough, it's happening. I should have. I was just a stupid kid back then, just trying to pass and get through it, trying to learn scientific stuff. But anyway, he's got a really good channel called the Diehole Foundation. I mean, if you really want to know deep stuff about Moses, and the Bible is a scientific history book. You have to look at it like that with an open mind. If hairdressers and hairstylists are pretty smart people and creative, so they look into things. So I'm sure you guys would be interested. It's that the Hebrew letters and the Hebrew alphabet. Just this past year or so, I realized how important those letters are, and how much it puts a lot of stuff in perspective when Diehole Foundation Professor speaks about it. You really find out about, and he's done his homework. It's not his opinion. It's all the scientists that the government kept their papers squashed. That's why I never wanted to be a scientist to earn money. I wanted to be knowledgeable about stuff, so I didn't get sick and skin cancer again. All my shit. So I really started to learn about it, man. I had to get educated. My father was instilled it in us when we were kids. Scientific was important, and as our technology grows, the more we can see. We have such fantastic satellites and technology monitoring stuff. So hairdressers and musicians and all people alike, it's very important that you get started with these couple of channels. I can't stress it enough, man, to watch every single video that these brilliant professors, hardworking, I must say, and how they put the data together to make sense for everybody. You know what I'm saying? See, I've been attending my hair salon for years, and I didn't really care about it. And I didn't think nothing would be, would ever really have to talk about this kind of crap, to be honest with you. I never thought I'd ever be making a video to the hairdressers or telling my clients about it, It's like nobody wants to hear it. It's shocking, because it's your health, man. Radiation and RF signals and all that shit is not good for you. If you look into how your cells look, and DNA and RNA and proteins and blah blah blah, man, it's a deep structure. I get to look at the cells under a spectron microscope, man, with look into shit in picometers, man. That's 1/1,000,000,000th of a meter, right? But anyway, still, it's very looking into the tiniest crap. All right, the most fascinating thing I'm looking at is the sperm cell, and the mechanics, and the tail look like sprockets, man. Really, spinning and turning to make the tail go. It was a fascinating thing. It was like right then and there, I said, oh man, the Big Bang did not happen. God's real, or it's an operating system, whatever you want to call it. I think, to me, it's God, something created it. But anyway, it's not for me to say. Don't believe me, or look into it yourself. And please subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna really work on this. We're gonna do a garden. We're gonna do a greenhouse. I'm gonna show you the house that I grew up in. This house is a beautiful place with 25 rooms. It's 200 years old, and it's still in fantastic, badass shape. So hopefully you can can have some fun with the heavy metal hair salon. I think I'm going to change my name to my name, man. Cause I don't know, because I think that far enough along in this education that I'm taking now to be able to speak about some things more clearly, especially when it comes to the technology of what the tools that the scientists are using to give you these data sets of how these individual satellites work, and how we measure the magnetic field, how we measure the ionosphere, and how we measure ocean currents, and how we measure heat and moisture and smoke and ash and dust in our atmosphere, and jet streams and vortexes, and you know, it's fantastic how far we have come along with spectroscopy, spectroscopy. I hate that word. That's a hard one, tongue twister. Anyway, but yeah, well, I mean, just take it as serious, man. It's something that, you know, our weather's going to change. Food might start to get hard to get. And another thing, when farmers start talking about the sun doing some weird stuff, man, you have to look into this stuff logically, or you're a retard. That's just the farmers have to know the sun and how the hell it works. That's what they do for a living, man. You know, think about it. All right, peace out, man. Subscribe, please. Probably the next video will be of the new house. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let me see how bored I get today. Anyway, peace out. Love.